parents, I first want to thank you for giving these lessons a try. I hope it goes well. And if you have any questions or concerns, on my website, there's a contact me portion, and you are always welcome to email. Just write your questions or comments or whatever in there and email it off to me, and I will get back to you and hopefully be able to help and support. So in this parent video, I'm going to tell you what your job is as you are starting these lessons with your child. So parents are the most important part of piano lessons. So I actually have the easy job, you have the hard job. And whether a child succeeds or fails at a musical instrument is largely based upon their parents. So that makes me feel good, right? But I'm going to tell you what exactly you can do to be that support and be that guidance for your child as they're learning. And hopefully you'll have a really successful experience, and eventually your child will get better and better at it, and so you won't need to help as much. But I'm going to tell you just a few things that are going to help you as you begin. So first off, practicing. Okay, so children, I have only met like 2 children my whole life who will sit and practice because they love it. Most kids will not like practicing, but as they learn their song and it gets better and better, they like that feeling. Okay, so the first couple days of practicing are always really difficult for a kid because it's learning something new and it's hard. But if you can get over that first day and second day, then as they've got their songs better, it becomes very enjoyable. I have had students who would come to a lesson and maybe practice once during the week and then come back to a lesson, and they hated piano, and I hated piano teaching because they hated being there at their lessons because they hadn't practiced. So this program is interesting because it's really go at your own pace. So as your child practices and gets their songs ready and sounding good, they're going to need to pass those off to you, and it's the same concept though. If they're practicing and they're learning and it's consistent, then they will enjoy it, and they actually will get to that point where they want to sit down and play and want to practice. So I have created a little piano practice prize chart. This is one way to do it. There are millions of ways to do it, but you can motivate your kid by, every 5 days you have a little treat or toy or something, or you can have them cross off every day of practicing and get to like a larger prize at the bottom. You figure out what is good for your child. Some kids need that constant reinforcement, so if you did a sticker a day, sometimes that's enough for a kid. Sometimes kids don't need as much reinforcement, and so you can, go a little longer between prizes. And some kids might not even need a prize at all, so it's up to you, but this is a little help that you can use. The other thing about practicing is I have found that if you have a consistent time every day for your child to practice, the practicing happens better. If it's just willy-nilly, when we get home from school, sometime practice, it's really hard to get that practicing in. I started with my kids. They have a chore list, and they have to get all of their chores done, and then they can have their screen time or their free time. And so piano is on that chore list. It's one of their chores. And so my kids are very motivated to get their practicing done because, they can't have their free time until they get their practicing done. So make sure that you establish a good practice habit. I like to see 5 days of practicing a week. So if you can get your child to practice 5 days a week, you are right on the money. So the next thing, your child will be assigned songs out of this book. So I'm going to be teaching them all of these concepts through here, and they'll be assigned the songs out of the book. And as they get to songs, oh yeah, this even has it. Okay, down here at the bottom, you'll see most of the songs have a teacher duet. So this is actually a really important thing for you as a parent who's not having live lessons, because this duet is going to help you know if your child's song is correct or not. So, for example, if your kid's playing Old MacDonald's, okay, and there's a teacher with Duet that goes along with it. They are going to have their timing right and their notes correct in order to be able to play with this teacher Duet. And you'll be able to hear if things don't sound right, stuff like that. Then you'll need to help your child know that they need to practice a little bit more, okay? But as they practice their song, have them practice on their own, get it pretty good, and then have them try the Duet online. And you'll just turn the Duet on for them, and it'll be like 4 beats. And the Duet will specify how many beats until it starts. So most often it's 4. So you'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the child will start, okay? So this will take a lot of getting used to, but hopefully it'll come quickly and it will become enjoyable. My favorite part of playing the piano is duets because it's fun, makes your song sound prettier, and you get to play with somebody else. And in this case, I get to play with me. So, and I wish I could be there to sit by them and do it. But anyways, that's the best I can do for you. So, all right, the second thing is I'm also going to give you a couple of cheat sheets because if you know a little bit about piano skills, you are going to fare a lot better. You're going to be able to help your kid a lot more. So this is going to be good for your child as well. And we'll talk about this during one of the lessons. But these are the notes on the piano, the keys on the piano, how to recognize what keys are what, okay? So there's black keys and there's white keys, okay? And there's sets of 2 and sets of 3. And each of these sets is the same note names. So the first set, we call it the doghouse. It's the smaller of the 2. It's the 2 black keys. And in the middle of the doghouse, inside the doghouse, you have a dog. So this key is D, okay? In front of the doghouse, you have a cat, and in the back of the doghouse, you have an elephant. Why that makes sense, I have no idea. But so, so C, D, E. Then here are the 3 black keys. You've got a people house. You have a front door, a back door, and grandma eating an apple. Some people say apple pie. I just put an apple. So F, G, A, B. Okay. So this pattern is, it just continues up the piano. So just remember you have a doghouse and a people house. So as your child is trying to find, well, where do I put my hands this time? You can help them direct them to the right notes and the right keys. Okay. The other cheat sheet that you get to have, and your child will eventually see this too. This is all of the notes, how to read notes, okay? So you're gonna get the fastest tutorial on how to read notes in music, okay? So these lines are called your staff. This top one is your treble. This bottom one is your bass. The top one is your right hand, generally. The bottom one is your left hand, generally, okay? This is the most common note in piano. It's middle C. So this C is also the middle C of your piano. So if you look like at the middle of your piano, there's the C in the middle is this C. So going up the piano, you'll go up these notes, and going down the piano, the notes go down this direction, okay? So here's the cheater part. So there's a couple sayings that help you know what notes are where. So there are line notes, notes that sit on the lines, and there are space notes that are in between the lines, okay? So there are a couple sayings. The first is space spells face for your treble clef space notes. And then your line notes in the treble clef are every good boy does fine, okay? And then down here, your bass clef, your space notes are all cows eat grass, okay? And your line notes, and people make up their own for this one all the time. We used to say gorillas buy donuts for alligators. Some people say good boys do fine always, but I find that's confusing with the other one. So somebody came up with good burritos don't fall apart. So anyways, this is important. Just print it out. I'm sorry I don't have a better version of it. I didn't want to, mess with anybody's copyright laws, so I just drew it out. So, okay, so those are important. I think the only other thing, I'm just gonna give you a quick pep talk as a parent. Consistency is key. You can do it. And if your child is frustrated, just work with them and try to help them. And honestly, feel free to reach out. And I would love to help any way that I can. Also, if you find anything in my website or my lessons that you're like, this doesn't make any sense, or your kid is really like, it's just wonky, you can just let me know too. And this is new for me, and I'm learning, and these lessons are just, I don't know. I'm just trying to do something to help people learn the piano. So that's it. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know.